again. This will probably be another raw and unedited because I don't own any editing software at the moment. But this will be a little bit different than my last 4 videos that I've made. I think I've only uploaded 2 of them to the channel at this point. The other 2 were to my personal one. But about I'll give some praise to the church, but at the same time, realize one of the one of the main or not main, but one of the contradictions of the church that probably still affects a lot of people, especially as a man, as a priesthood holder, because one thing, it's like the greatest thing that I learned from the church was service. My Something my dad instilled into me, not not through not through sermons or threats or guilt, but because I guess this is one of the other good things that the church does is lead by experience. Lead by example, lead by experience. Is My dad would almost always help someone if they asked. My dad, before his mental health just went to total shit. He was a very good man. He was a very service oriented. He would, do, and he would take me and my older brother to do these things, and so we just learned that this is the right thing to do. Service is a great thing. Put others before yourself. That's a great thing to have. Period. Dot. It doesn't matter whether it's attached to a deity or anything else. It's just good thing to have is to understand you're not the center of the fucking world. I mean, a lot of Mormons don't get that because they just this is what I need to do to look good. They don't internalize the best thing that the church can teach you is to put others before yourself. But it's like I have this issue, it's like the closest friend I had, the one guy that I really, the guy I would have taken a bullet for in the church when I was going at the university ward. He was a really good man, but he just, he's from Utah. But he wasn't a bubble Mormon. That was the thing. He was from Utah, but he didn't behave like a bubble. He didn't give me any shit about anything. Even when I'd cuss or bring up, because we both loved comic books and superheroes. He was an X-Men fan. I'm Spider-Man, but he was still a good guy. But it's like I bring up cosplay and just little things like that. He never outwardly judged me or treated me different when I just behaved a little bit more worldly, because I was a lot more worldly. Shitty word, but anyone who's been in the church knows what that word means. So, but yeah, he was a good guy. He was also the Elders Quorum president at the time. Even though, so it's like we had a period where we needed to move from one house because there was some foundation cracks, and then we had to move into another place. And so it's like one thing the church, we've already moved once that year because, or within 12 months. But, there's the issue of the conflict between service to others, which, like I said, is the greatest thing that the church teaches, and self-reliance. And so that was the first time I really had a lot of conflict and contradiction within the church. It's the first time on my personal level, it's like, no, I need to do everything I can on my own before I ask for anyone else to help. But then you need to trust your leaders, and it's just like, and it wasn't pride. It wasn't pride that kept me from, I need to do this. It's like, am I being the good priesthood holder? Am I being the good patriarch of the family, the head of the family? Am I doing that right if I need help? I mean, part of it is also, being Army. I guess I think I'm wearing my Army hat today. Oh, vodka orange juice in my Judge Dredd mug. But yeah, and so it's like that was one of the first things. I mean, it's but at the same time, apparently in Utah, they've had to instruct the members that Elders Quorum is not a moving service because their work has been abused. I mean, the church is really great about getting. I guess that is kind of devious now that I think about it. Now that I bring it up, the fact that they get so much free work out of us because they do instill that sense of service, that sense of duty, that this is even without, like I said, my sense of service came from not a sense of shame or guilt, but more of a sense of duty. Well, that's more about my personality than I guess does the church, but it's something I do agree with. Is trying to instill that sense of work ethic, service, put others before yourself, do what you can to help others within your means and ability. It's like one of my favorite foods is chili. So my favorite part of the church year, every year for the last, since I came back in the church, is whenever the church did the chili cook-off. And so that was the last time I ever participated in a church activity. I just wanted chili. I wanted people to enjoy my chili. I love making chili. This year I didn't make, or last year I didn't make too spicy of a chili, but I usually make, well, I still made the spiciest chili. But yeah, I love chili. It's so good. Love all those complex flavors. But, and so that was the last activity I had. Because if you've watched my video on me being betrayed by my bishops, I refused to shake my bishop's hand. I didn't tell him, fuck off, go die, I want to slit your fucking throat. I just refused to shake his hand and was polite to him. But one thing that was misinterpreted is when I was talking to one of the other ladies there. I don't even know who she was. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. Church can burn to the ground, but anyway, as long as no one dies. But anyway. No, just saying, it's one good thing the church teaches how to work. Because, we're out there, all the men are out there. I feel I am doing my part if I am working, if I'm doing a good job. See, that's the thing. I'm not doing it for, brownie points in heaven. It's like, focus on what's going on now. I am just trying to help people out. I am just trying to do my part. I'm not trying to do everything. I'm not trying to impress anyone. I wanted to do my part. And then this lady, I mean, maybe it's because she wasn't raised in the priesthood and had all the more subtle, or is it maybe just because I'm blue collar? Blue collar people, we got to do our part when we work. We do our part. I guess that might be something that's missing with all the, especially since I went, as an adult, most of my experience has been around college-educated shits. And their dumb fuckery, cocksucking pieces of, yeah, I don't give a shit. But yeah, they don't have they had this competition mindset. It's like, when I was on the university board, one of the biggest shocks that I had was, this one. I mean, I knew him well enough to know he's a good guy. His heart's in the right place. But he was saying, if I help, because he's a doctor, MD, he was, going through medical school at the University of Iowa Hospital and Clinics. He was saying, well, if I help this person, will that hurt me? Because, it's a competition. I mean, so it's like, if he behaves Christ-like, will that hurt his worldly chances? Is he protecting his family by acting Christ-like? Is he hurting his family by acting Christ-like? I mean, now thinking about it, I feel sorry for the guy. Simple fact that he had that conflict. It's like, and well, that's also one reason why you have such issues with the fucking medical community, the fucking medical professionals, is they have that, they have that competition in there that they have to be right. They have to, and so it's the same thing, with all those people that, you had me who was, I was a non-traditional student. I was in there, I was in my 30s. Everyone else was in their 20s, just about. And so it's like, it's a completely different perspective, as well as, the simple fact that, I worked for a living, I joined the Army, and because of the GI Bill, I could get to school. If it wasn't for the GI Bill, I would never have been able to get to school. But now, closing in on 11 minutes according to this thing, but yeah, going on. The church can teach some good things, but even those good things are usually have more nefarious purposes. Instilling a good work ethic in their cultists will ensure that they get some good work out of them. Like with their humanitarian efforts, which is usually not done with church money, but with the members' efforts. So yeah, one of the best and one of the worst things about the church. And headphone warning, fuck the church! Fuck the Mormon church!